out there, which was awesome. You could feel the energy. It certainly helps, when you're going 4 days in a row, start camp, guys pushing through, and it was a good day.
Or you said yesterday you have a decision on Eddie.
Yeah, so obviously signing my man Big Jelly Bean. We'll make the official, the actual what it is. It's why it's a day right now. It'll be an either or, but there'll be an official transaction date by 4 o'clock.
So it would be either release or back to
There'll be a transaction date, and that's how we're able to sign Justin Ellis, and then we added 2A too, and maybe move with Dorian. So, but it'll officially go through this afternoon. I'll let the league guys handle it, and I'm sure David will put out exactly what it is. But yeah, Eddie will not be out there with us.
As far as Dorian, is that a release or did he get hurt?
Who?
Dorian, did he get hurt?
Release.
Release, okay. And as far as Hennessy with the MRI?
Yeah, good news with Henny. You never know those things. So when I say good news, obviously it was something that kept him out. But as we read about tomorrow, I think he'll be back sooner than later. But anytime you go on MRI, you just never know, right? So good news on that front.
The way it's all throughout the course of the week so far.
As a whole team, we've taken everything. There's so many things we're working on. How you logistically set up practice, when you ramp up, when you go from 90 to 105. Get out there for 2 hours a day. Those are ramp up rules. Everybody handles them different. Some teams want to go 3 and then off. We go 4. But there's the way you design the practice as you ramp up. What part of the field you want to work on? You come out day 1, run 70 plays, run 70 goes, and take some of your really deep play pass shots. In my experience, it can have some adverse effects. So we try to be as smart as we can, and we feel good about our plan. And so you're not seeing a lot of early in the week 1, a lot of our schematic stuff down there. Today you just kind of push a little more, and then we got to kind of throttle back down and put the pads on, and then you go back. So I feel like by the middle of next week you're kind of really rolling, doing everything you want to do. But overall, I thought it was a really good week, all 3 phases. I joke every time this year there's 32 teams that are super optimistic, but it was a good week, productive.
You talked about the secondary yesterday. What about the linebacker group that work they're putting in? Lorenzo,
it's a versatile. Some of the 5-down stuff, guys that go down there, guys that can play stack. See the versatility like Mike Walker, some of these guys that are cross training, and certainly I think Caden Ellis is doing a really good job. He's a smart football player. Like where Troy's at. Certainly, the snaps he played, and the impact he made. Where those guys, how far along they are. I mean, there's nothing that's going to replicate reps. Like I even look at Drew Dahlman so far. It just, he got a season under his belt. It just feels different, and that's what it is. I mean, that's a hard position to play. It's center and what we ask him to do. So that's encouraging as well.
We had a chance to talk with Matt Collins yesterday.
Yeah.
Interesting guy, just from out of the gate. But he said he comes with a mindset that he's competing for that #1 spot with Drake, just because that's his mindset coming in. How can he make the room better?
I know, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I don't know what the 1 spot means. Like, I look at that WR1 and RB1 and whatever. I mean, great. I mean, it's great, for fantasy football, whatever it is. We got a lot of guys that can make plays on this offense. I think you saw it today, having CP back, all the different things he can do as we keep continuing to ramp Kyle back up. I mean, we got a lot of guys that can make plays, and how we want to operate, and what we think the best game plan is to deploy those guys in different packages, and they can line up all over the place. And I think that's what makes us unique. So I don't know the rankings. That's great for sports talk. It's great for whatever social media, whatever they're calling it now, B or C or Twitter, what it used to be. I don't know what Elon's got going on, and whatever offshoot that may or may not work. Really all I want to see is the cage match between Elon and Zuckerberg. Not to get off topic, but so Matt's going to be a productive player for us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm fired up about. I think Kadero Hodge is. I think he continues to show up. You guys see him out there, and some of those are pretty obvious, right? He continues to make plays. So is Michael Pruitt, John, Kyle. I mean, these are good problems to have where we're at depth-wise in the skill group.
Were you aware of all of Mac's eccentricities?
I was. He was a UNC guy.
Oh, that's right.
So you got a little bit of crossover history as people naturally around the program. Max made a big impact wherever he's been. Obviously on his career in Philly, on that team. We practiced against a couple years ago down in Miami. He was one of the few guys, the receivers that were down a bunch. He's one of the few guys that took almost every damn rep, productive last year in Vegas. So, know a lot about Mac. We got a lot of mutual friends. He's had a really positive impact for really the whole offense. He's just a fun guy to be around. I don't know, I haven't really seen him eat with his hands or if he eats with his toes, I don't know. Other guys be themselves, And they work hard, good teammates, have no issue with it.
Coach, it seems as though Clark Phillips has been pretty competitive during this opening block of
Yeah.
practices. What's been your evaluation of him so far?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason we wanted Clark here with all rookies. I mean, certainly he's made some obvious splash plays that everybody's seen, and there's some other things that he needs to clean up, like any rookie. I want our guys to be fast and celebrate teammate, but he was supposed to still be in there. So as he took his victory lap and waving to the crowd and doing his pageant wave, like we need to go. Come on, great play. He jumped it. Instinct is what we saw at Utah. So I think he's got a great instinct with the ball, but let's get back. Like, celebrate your teammates and let's get back, and we got something else to work on. That's what I love about this team. I mean, you've got to have the right mindset. Like, you've been pretty good in one-on-ones. Today you got beat. That's what happens in the NFL when it's good on good. But they came back out there and made plays, but he's fun to coach. I'm glad he's here.
It looked like in the last team period, did you throw water on?
No, we were playing, those guys kind of started in the last year. It's kind of Sean Flaherty is our resident, he's a Jersey guy, Jersey Shore guy. So that's kind of Flaherty's mix, whether you want to call it the Mykonos or South Beach, Jersey Shore, Vegas mix. Frankie and CP, those guys love it. Frankie asked me if he could spray the fake champagne if we made a play. Ironically, Frankie made it. So I didn't have the confetti and all the sparklers. I just simulated the water bottle.
Kind of a weird question when it comes to Mac. He talks about how he doesn't like wearing shoes at all, and this is the only pair of shoes. Like, as a coach, are you concerned with him walking around with bare feet outside of the facility, or does it matter?
You can find literature on anything you want, right? And that's supposed to be strengthen your feet. You find, I don't. Seems to be working for him.
Did you watch the documentary the team put out last night about Troy?
No, I
Just
watched at some point. I heard it was really good, and I look forward to watching it, but I've not.
So just going into year 2 for him, do you expect to kind of see even more growth just because last year seemed to be just a big culture shock, quote unquote culture shock for him coming
Put him
from,
in a box from Dillon, Montana.
well, just, coming, from there, coming to here. It's a growing year personally for him, I'm sure. So, yeah.
It was for D'Angelo, who grew up down the road. Rookie years are tough in the NFL. In all seriousness, yeah, I mean, Troy, interesting story. I've got some family up in Montana. So I was 1 of 10, and mom grew up in a big Catholic family, and we had a bunch of relatives. I have relatives out in Montana, and we drafted them. The whole state's behind them. I've been around the 2 biggest celebrities in Montana, Mark Mariani and now Troy Anderson.